Jacksonville Beach Planning Commission. Thank you everyone for being here. May we have roll call, please?
David Dahl.
Here.
Margo Moore.
Here.
Nicholas Andrews.
Here.
Colleen White. Justin Lehrman.
Here.
Justin Henderson.
Here.
Debbie Cole. Here.
And we do have a quorum, I see. Right.
Yes.
Better.
Yeah, if I could, it would be different. Yeah. Okay, our first agenda item that's an action item is consideration of the minutes from September 11th, 2023. Do we have any changes, proposed changes to the minutes? Or do we have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Do we have any correspondence?
No correspondence.
Do any of my fellow commissioners have any disclosure of ex parte communications?
No. No.
Thank you, everyone. Do we have any old business?
No old business.
Before we begin new business, I just want to go over kind of how we run our meetings. So the Planning Commission bases its decisions on competent, substantial evidence, including testimony provided in this meeting. Any person who's not an applicant or agent that wishes to speak will need to fill out a speaker's card located at the side table by the door, and then turn them into the clerk. It's our practice that regardless of the type of issue we are asked to decide upon, each member of the public is given 3 minutes to speak on each item. Please refrain from speaking out from the audience, applauding, groaning, etc., as we try to ensure an atmosphere where everyone listening or in attendance is comfortable. Please silence your cell phone. So with that, if we could do the new business, PC 1823.
Through the chair, this is PC 1823. It's a conditional use application for property located at 818 Beach Boulevard. This is the Beach Bowl facility. The application is for a new restaurant with outside seating on a property located in the C2 zoning district. Pursuant to section 34-343D14 of the Land Development Code. As I'm sure you're all aware, Beach Bowl has been going through some extensive renovations over the last 2 years. During a recent meeting, we were going over some final changes to some of the signs and things like that, and basically discovered that everyone forgot to do a conditional use permit for the outside seating as part of the renovation. So, in the design for the project, you can see, looking at the front of the building here, there's going to be a new restaurant here, and this has an upstairs outside deck that's part of the restaurant design. That's the first floor. So this is the second floor. Again, there's like an internal portion of the restaurant and this covered outside seating deck that's on the second floor. So the request is for that area. As I mentioned, the property is located in the commercial general C2 district. Obviously, the Beach Bowl facility takes up the majority of the block along Shetter Avenue and Beach Boulevard. There is a surf shop that occupies the corner on the northwest part of the block that is also a retail establishment. To the north, across Beach Boulevard, there is a check cashing office and a retail bicycle store, as well as the Blue Water multifamily community. To the east is a small strip commercial center with several tenants, all commercial in nature. To the west is a doctor's office. And to the south, across Shetter, is a mix of uses, including contractor offices, a nonprofit mission house, a car repair facility, and a small multifamily structure on the far west, the southern block, furthest from the outside seating area, basically opposite side of the building. Based on the location of the building on the lot, the outside seating will be set far back on the lot, not immediately adjacent to Beach Boulevard. The design for the outside seating places it on the second story and wraps around the northeast corner of the structure, so part of it's on the front, part of it's on the side. The closest adjacent uses to the outside seating will be the Sunrise Surf Shop, which shares the same block, and then the multi-tenant commercial center that's across 8th to the east. The height and location of the proposed outside seating area is generally, and the general intense commercial nature of the Beach Boulevard corridor. The proposed use for outside seating restaurant should not negatively affect the surrounding uses. And based on the application and analysis and staff report, the planning department is recommending approval of PC 1823.
Thank you, Mr. Probly. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give any presentation?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name and address.
I'm Randall Whitfield, 7880 Gate Parkway, Jacksonville, Florida. Have with me my associate Gabe Bowman of the same address. And thank you, Christian, for a good description. If you would like me to elaborate and do a presentation, I'd be very happy to. If you have any questions, I'd be very happy to answer those. So I'll be at your pleasure tonight. So if you would like a presentation on what Christian just so eloquently put forth, I'll be glad to do that, or I will simply answer your questions.
Well, sir, do you have things to add to what Mr. Copley told us, or are things that you'd like to emphasize? We'd kind of like to know what you'd like us to know.
Well, we have what we consider to be a bright spot in the city of Jacksonville Beach. It's gone from a retro type establishment to something that people will be pleased to come to participate in, and to share in and be a part of Jacksonville Beach. We're trying to maintain some of the iconic things, like the name of the sign will be up and reflect to the old reflection of Jacksonville Beach and the bowling center. But it's going to have so many more amenities that people will enjoy and use. We're going to have, as Christian pointed out, a very nice restaurant, open seating upstairs. We'll have restaurant seating downstairs. We have 20 lanes of bowling downstairs. We have 4 lanes of boutique bowling upstairs, where you can actually reserve those, have private functions along with doing some bowling. Great for corporate events, great for school events. It will just be a spot that everyone will find use of, and it's geared for the family. So we'll have things inside that children can do, games as well as bowling. So we're looking forward to getting it open. It's going to be somewhere around the first of the year when we can actually be open. But we're looking forward to it.
I'm extremely excited.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions for the applicant?
How many people can be seated in the outside portion of the restaurant?
You know, I did not do a table count, and I don't know what the fire marshal says, but it won't exceed any regulations of the fire department.
Through the chair, restaurants are allowed to have up to 50% of the square footage of the inside portion as outside seating. So the accommodation in the number of seats doesn't really play into our approval, but it is something that's dictated by the building official and the fire marshal for egress and proper spacing and all that. So I don't recall the actual head count, but it's going to be dictated by the fire marshal, basically.
Other questions from the applicant? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I will now open the public hearing. Do we have any speaker cards? So now, sir, would you like to address us?
I'd like to talk. My name's Christopher Brown. I own 820 Shutter Avenue, directly south of the bowling alley. My concerns are, as they always are when I come up here, parking, which I'm sure will get out of hand since everyone around me is already spilling the things of their parking lots as it is. I have taken to putting up orange cones out front of my place at the present moment because it's gotten so bad. I'm also concerned about this this outdoor area not being a restaurant, but being turned into a bar, open very late hours and all the noise that comes with that. Is there going to be anything stopping them from being open late hours, operating as a bar, and will there be any music? Will there be televisions running outdoors, that kind of thing, contributing to the sound? That's my concerns. I have been up here before with other businesses asking for all kinds of variances and everything else, and I've been shot down every time, so I'm really not expecting much. But it's a major, major problem operating a business in this city for me. Having parts of my property taken from me, new infrastructure put in, preventing me from using other parts of my property, and like I said, variances all around me so that I have all my neighbors now hate me because they think that I am paying rent on community property that they should be able to park on. And now I'm concerned that there's going to be late night noises, drunks, my property being directly adjacent to Mission House. My property is already a toilet. And I'm worried about people coming down out of that upstairs unit with the stairs on the side that are going to be drunk and use my property as their toilet. I hate this place. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any discussion?
Yeah. The proponent wants to speak.
Oh, if the applicant would address those questions, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The parking, we've gone to the extent of having additional parking put in there. We do have more than the on-site parking than the previous facility at Beach Bowl had there. So I think we're going to be adequately parked. We don't want to infringe upon anybody, so we've gotten all of our approvals there. The city of Jacksonville Beach has regulations for regulating noise. You can't exceed certain decibel numbers. And the late hours of the bar, I think, are also regulated by the city of Jacksonville Beach. So we plan to be good neighbors. We plan to be good citizens, go by all of the ordinances that have been provided. And certainly, if there's any issues, then we'll address those issues as they come up. We plan to be a vital part of this community. We also have the Beach Plaza that we purchased about a year ago. So we're corporate citizens, and we plan to be good citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And sir, can we ask you to please fill out a speaker's card before you leave? Would you mind?
I'm sorry, say that again?
I think we'd like you to fill out a speaker's card for our records. We very much appreciate that. And just before you leave. Okay, my fellow commissioners, do we have discussion? I'm going to close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Do we have questions for staff?
Yes. You want to start? Yeah, I have actually two. My understanding is it's 96 parking spots, correct?
Sounds right.
Just want to confirm that it's 96 parking spots. You can't count them? No, I can't. I just want to think.
Yeah, February 5th, 2021,
Yeah.
that document says 96.
Okay. And then the second one was, my understanding based on what you briefed is that this has always been part of the original plan, correct? It was just an oversight and getting,
Yeah, the original plans have always contained outside seating in the restaurant area. The plans have shifted a little bit over the years as far as the final design, but there was always intended to be outside seating.
All right, thank you. No more questions.
I'm sure you already took into account amplified music and TVs on the patio.
My understanding is TVs would fall under the amplified music, amplified sound requirements, so I'm just looking through the police technically regulate this portion of the code, but I think this came up at another facility, and it was basically determined that, yeah, TVs would be considered amplified, and therefore, they would have to get the low volume amplified sound permit, and there are very specific stipulations associated with that.
There's a certain time that they have to be turned off, right?
I believe so.
I guess my next question while he's looking that up is what time is Beach Bowl open till? What are the hours?
We have not set the operating hours, but I would assume we'd be open till like the 12 midnight.
Monday, every day of the week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We would not start until a certain time,
Sure.
but I don't have set hours, but that's what I'm anticipating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Further discussion?
I might be misremembering, but I thought there was a time where amplified music sound needs to be turned off, and I'm pretty sure it's before midnight. Right?
Commissioner Mayor. Our noise ordinance is drafted to regulate sounds during certain time frames of the day, so it's usually daytime hours, which are defined by the code, and nighttime hours. And so however those hours actually fall and what the decibel levels are would determine whether there has been a violation or a noise or sound that exceeded the decibel levels for that time of day. But it's going to be very much generated by those demarcation, daytime hours, nighttime hours. The other part of this is, as I think Christian may have alluded to, is our noise ordinance is enforced by the police department, and so if there is a violation and it's called in, we can kind of address it in real time. Okay?
Yep, that makes sense.
Through the chair, the permit for outside amplified music is only valid from basically 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Anytime after 10 p.m. before 10 a.m. you're not allowed to have amplified outside music or sound. So 10 p.m. would be the cutoff.
Question, upstairs in the seating area, is that a outdoor bar up there? Yes, anybody? Is there a bar, is there a dedicated bar outside? Or is it just tables?
That's a good question. Do they have a liquor license? Just out of curiosity.
They're a restaurant, so they fall under that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's got food.
Yeah.
We do have upstairs, and downstairs, both for restaurants. And we have elevators, we do have stairs, both interior as well as the exterior. And we do have a service bar downstairs, and we have a small RH service bar upstairs. Yes, sir.
Okay, is it a small bar or a big bar?
I don't know the size of it. I couldn't tell you if it has a 4-seater or a 10-seater.
Okay. The question would be then, what time of night does it go from we're serving food to we're just a bar?
As far as we're concerned, I mean, our anticipation is that it's going to be a restaurant with bar service. Will we stop serving food at a certain hour and continue to serve alcohol? I don't know that at this point. That'll be a question we'll look at as we walk through. But again, this is not a new thing. The previous bowling alley had liquor there. They had it inside. They had no ability to have outside. But what we have seen in both the restaurant industry in Jacksonville Beach, and other beach communities is that people do gravitate to a place where they can have outside seating, both for dining, and as they dine, they would like to have alcohol as well, whether that's beer, wine, or a mixed drink.
Is there a restroom on the second floor and first floor?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Is there any partition between the staircase and your neighbor? Or is it just an open staircase with a railing, just out of curiosity?
The outside stairs will have a railing, certainly. That's just safety precautions.
Through the chair to answer the question on food service and bar, per our code, the kitchen has to remain open up until 30 minutes before closing. So they have to continue to serve food.
Do we have any other questions of the staff or of the applicant? Thank you, Mr. McPhee.
Thank you.
Would someone care to make a motion and discuss how we, or think we have it?
Through the chair.
Motions made?
Mr. Chair, I think it's clear that all the questions asked tonight of the applicant were based on city code. And the applicant has said multiple times while he was up here that they will abide by city code. And if he didn't want to abide by city code, the police would step in and help probably change his opinion on that obedience. So I think we've answered all of those questions, and I think it's a high-end improvement for the beach, and I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
May we have a roll call vote, please?
David Dahl,
Yes.
Nicholas Andrews,
Yes.
Justin Lehrman,
Yeah.
Justin Henderson,
Yes.
Margaret Warren.
Yes. So your application has been approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Don't give me time, a little bit of time, but
Do we have a planning department report?
Yes, we do. So your next scheduled meeting is for November 13th, and we have 3 items scheduled for that that are actually all related. And then the second item, we have 2 meetings scheduled for November 27th and December 26th. These are right around the 2 holidays that we have, so we wanted to make sure that if you guys are planning to have a meeting at that time, whether you have quorum or not, or if people are going to be out of town, if you wish to cancel those meetings. We currently have nothing scheduled for either of those meetings, kind of pending this outcome.
Okay. What do you guys think?
So what were the days again? December?
November 27th, which is right after the holiday, and then December 26th, which is also,
I'm gonna be out of town.
Do you need a motion? Or
yeah, I prefer a motion.
I'll motion to postpone the December meeting.
Second.
Okay. What about November?
How about November? What's the date on that?
So it's November 27th and December 26th.
Just for clarification, are you asking to postpone it or cancel it?
Great, let's cancel it.
I understand that your motion is to cancel the November 27th and December 26th planning commission meetings. 2023.
My only hesitation for 2 months in a row is I would hate for someone to have to wait, was that 3 months? Our next meeting would be January?
There is an earlier meeting in both scheduled for both November and December, correct?
Correct. There's a November 13th is your next meeting, and then there's a December, I want to say 11th, perhaps, meeting.
Perfect, yes, let's propose to cancel those, end of December and end of November meetings. The holiday period meetings.
Okay. And as reflected on the planning department's report.
Thank you for clarifying.
So we got a motion, do we have a second? Second. Okay. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion is approved.
And then the final thing, we just met with the Land Development Code and Comp Plan consultants late last week. We're proposing probably the first week in December to have another joint meeting with you guys and the Board of Adjustment and the CRA to look at what will be the draft comp plan at that point. So we will get it to you hopefully 2 weeks ahead of time, so you'll have time to review it. But we're just waiting on the draft at this point. We haven't seen it yet either. But we'll let you know obviously when the actual meeting will be, but that'll be another, opportunity for the boards to comment on the incoming legislation. I mean, we're going through civil review right now on their project, so they've got a number of hurdles to overcome before they'll be ready to pull any permits, but I haven't paid attention to what their lease situation is. It's gonna be into next year before anything happens.
Okay. So we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.